As you can imagine, when it began operating in 1966, the Montreal Metro transformed public transit in our city. Since then, it's become one of the busiest rapid transit systems in North America. More than 50 years later, Montreal is preparing another groundbreaking transit project. The REM light rail train project is being managed by Quebec's pension fund manager, the Caisse de dépôt et placement du Québec. It will introduce 26 new stations with a view to boosting public transit. 3 of those stations will allow commuters to connect directly to the metro system: Édouard-Montpetit, McGill, and Central. The project is being billed as the Réseau Express Métropolitain. The project was first introduced in 2016 and has been given the green light by the province. But as CityLife reporter Giordano Cescuti discovered, the project is generating endless questions.
Many commuters are excited about the prospect of a new light rail train, but not Catalin Zimbrestianu. He lives just 15 meters from the tracks in TMR.
It's going to be, as I was saying, a living nightmare. I don't foresee my son going to school for 1 week with such a schedule, being able to perform, us going to work. It's going to be unlivable.
On weekdays, 49 trains as loud as 80 decibels roll through Mount Royal, but that's set to increase exponentially with 500 REM trains scheduled. A study released by a case subsidiary reveals that an 80 decibel limit was placed on the new REM, which could make it as noisy as the current train.
At 5 o'clock, when we hear the first train, will be up. And it doesn't matter that the next train will be 3 minutes later, because I will not be able to fall asleep for 3 minutes or 2 minutes and 50 seconds and then wake up again for 10 seconds. So basically we'll be up from 5 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock at night.
But the promise of improved public transit service can't come soon enough for people living in the West Island.
You cannot keep the West Island, especially the West Island, hostage. We have to move forward in terms of our ease of transport. Cars are outdated. You take a look at Europe, you take a look at Vancouver, we're way behind. We need to do a lot of catching up. And this is the way to get it done.
The current RTM train line heads to Montreal from the West Island just 12 times on weekdays and only 4 times after 8:30 in the morning. The new REM will run every 3 to 10 minutes for 20 hours a day.
What a great thing for the West Island. We've waited for this for a long, long time. And, it's on our doorstep. The train's coming. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
But critics of the project argue that it has continued to move forward despite several red flags. In 2017, Quebec's Environmental Impact Review Commission, the BAP, refused to greenlight the project.
The project was not ready to go to the BAP. It's still not a properly defined project. They keep changing major details on it. And it needs to go back to the drawing boards.
But some environmentalists are confident the project will help reduce pollution by encouraging people to live closer to REM stations and to get out of their cars.
In the short term, it's not going to reduce emissions by that much. In the long run, it will, because people will have incentives, because you have predictability. If I live near a REM station, I know for sure that they can get from A to B in, say, 5, 7, 10, 12 minutes.
Yet opinions on the project vary even among environmentalists. There weren't any studies regarding its long-term effects until the one conducted for the case, and some accuse that study of being flawed.
They forgot to take into account the greenhouse gas emissions from the construction of the project, which are huge. They forgot to take into account what will happen with urban sprawl on the West Island and the South Shore, which is big.
Construction of the REM network includes a track along the new Champlain Bridge, which is expected to be completed at the end of the year. But CAQ transport critic Benoit Charette worries that the REM project itself could be delayed.
In the past, we had so many projects that were not able to be ready at the right time. So yes, we have some doubt about that.
Despite these questions, the city has fully endorsed the REM project. Mayor Plante says the light rail train will help people reach downtown more efficiently, comfortably, and quickly. The CAQ also supports the REM, but they want the whole process to be more transparent.
I'm hoping that the public will be respected in this project. If they have questions, I'm still hoping that they will be able to get the answers that they deserve.
In Mount Royal, Zimbrestianu is hoping one of those answers will come in the form of a noise reduction barrier during construction, not after the project is complete.
Patching things after, it's definitely the worst way to go. It's much better to actually take them into consideration in the design phase and then implement them.
Mount Royal Mayor Philippe Roy says he has spoken with the project managers about the noise concerns. He says he has been assured that new sound tests will be run now that they know who will build the train. Zimbristiano says his only other option would be to move, and that's simply not in the cards.
I talked to my son. He was born in this house. He does not want to move. This is the only neighborhood that he known. That's the only place, the only rooms that he's known. There's absolutely no way that he wants to move out. It would be too big of a change in our life.
The first trains are now scheduled to hit the rails in the summer of 2021. But considering that the original completion date was 2020, it remains to be seen whether that will happen. Giordano Ciscuti, CityLife, Mount Royal.
Joining me now to discuss the massive REM project is Dr. Jochen Jaeger. He is an associate professor at Concordia University and graduate program director of the Program for Environment.